Hi, my name is Mueni Mutinda. I am Director of Community Connections with Feed Nova Scotia. I also have my own consulting company, Mutinda Consulting, that is a social research and equity-centered program consulting company. To me, wellness means honoring myself. It means connecting with myself in ways that maybe society doesn't allow us to do that. So it means taking time to sense what my heart and mind and body need, and where I need to be connecting with my relations, where I need to be doing things that bring me energy and calm and peace. My mental health journey, I think I would describe it as one of unlearning and learning new things about myself, about what I need, and recognizing that that's valuable to know internally, and that also seeking support when I need it is important. And it doesn't mean that I am less than or I'm not capable, but it's actually that I'm strong and I need support to be stronger. So it's an ongoing journey. If by traditional therapy, the question is about whether I've had psychologists or counselors or journaling, things like that, then yes. And that I've had those kind of external supports for years, and I've found them valuable because often talking to someone who doesn't really have any knowledge of my life experience has been good in the sense that they could listen and they can give a very non-emotional and unattached kind of perspective and help me figure out what the dots were and what questions I was asking and what questions I needed to be asking if I was afraid and those kind of things. I've also done a lot of journaling, which over the years has helped to put things on paper, and often have gone back to revisit those journal entries, and I've been quite surprised to see how many things, how much I was able to manage and process and carry through, and that actually brings out a sense of gratitude that in the midst of something that I thought was traumatic, when I look back, it actually demonstrates to me how strong I've been and how capable I've been, when in fact, when I was going through those things, I felt like the whole world was falling apart, I couldn't do it, I was hopeless, and those kind of things. So I think the narrative in the mind is often that we can't do it, but the reality is we can do it, and we are doing it, and the opportunity is to connect the heart and the mind to figure out what is the truth of what we're going through at any given moment. So it's, I think, helpful to seek out those external supports, but then to also always realize that we have the key to unlock the truth of what it is that we're going through, and to be able to find the truth of whatever the journey is unfolding, and to recognize that we are telling stories about experiences that we've had, and that those stories are often constructed because we're thinking certain things, but they could be true or not. And so the perceptions and the experiences are based on what we put together, even though the truth of the incidences happened, the truth or the stories, the meaning that we assign to those incidences, that's what's in question. So I find that documenting things and talking through things and then going back to revisit actually demonstrates the truth of what was really going on. So when we talk about self-care of choice, I think for me, my heart and mind go to self-love. And why that's the way it is, it's because I think self-love is actually a revolutionary act. It's radical. It's unexpected. And in a world that is full of all kinds of systemic barriers for a lot of people and not for others, I think that choosing self-love is a revolutionary act. So self-love to me looks like waking up late and listening to music that makes me dance because that gives me energy. Self-love looks like spending time in quiet and solitude, watching the sunrise, listening to the birds and reflecting and imagining myself and who I am within this larger existence and life itself. Self-love to me looks like spending an afternoon cooking food that I grew up eating, food that my mother and grandparents and aunts and uncles came to share and to contribute and to eat. And the smells and tastes of that food do something for me. They connect me to a time that is gone. They reconnect me to memories of a place that I have nothing but wonderful memories of. So I think reconnecting to pieces of who we are, pieces that have formed who we've become, that are maybe long gone from our ancestors, but also current and stretching into dreams and visions of a future that we want. I think all of these are opportunities to express all of who we are and to bring all of who we are to inform our experience, and not just for us, because when we exercise self-love, actually that spreads and it creates a certain kind of environment where we are, so that our presence and our energy when we go into a space impacts the experience of everyone else. So it is radical and it is revolutionary because it's changing the narrative of what the system that we are all living under has taught us to believe. Black wellness is important because to me, I think it's connected to the idea of self-love, and it's changing the narrative. It's rewriting a story that we've been told that is not true, and actually choosing the truth of who we are and living into that. So taking care of ourselves as well within that self-love decision, and it's deliberate, and it's now. It's not in the future, it's now. And it's an invitation to see ourselves of who we are. And, it's introspective. Everything that is has potential to change and ripple out, I'm convinced, begins with from ourselves, from a space of introspection and openness and willingness to see things for what they are, and willingness to ask questions, maybe questions that we maybe have never asked, don't want to ask, and willing to discover and go on that journey of self-discovery, because that's where we learn of our capabilities, that's where we learn of our interconnectedness to each other, to the universe, to life itself, to our ancestors, past, present, and future. And that's where we change the story. That's where we garner our individual and collective energy to live into the dreams and visions of our ancestors, if we show up in the truth of who we are. And I think that's an opportunity, right, to discover who we are and to live into that truth. I don't have advice for anyone. I mean, all I can share and express is my own journey and the learning that I am collecting from that journey. So for me, I see this as an invitation to go into yourself and create time, create space to reflect and to listen deeply to your heart and your mind and your body. And don't be afraid of what you find, because actually that's where the gold is, if I can put it in those terms. That will take courage. That will require a lot of courage. But it's not going to kill you, actually. It's going to reveal and free all of who you are. The potential that sits and just waits within us is waiting to emerge when we recognize that we are the ones that we've been waiting for. There's no one else that's coming. There's no one outside that we need. We are our own saviors. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. And the opportunity is an invitation to awaken to the truth of who we are. And so that journey inward is the way out. So that's all I can say.